Welcome back to Good Evening KU. I'm Orly.
And I'm Katie.
We missed you last week due to fall break. What did you do?
I went home to Chicago. I took the Amtrak train right out of Lawrence up to Naperville, which is like right around from where I'm from. But the train was 3 hours delayed, so it was supposed to come at 5 a.m., but did not come until 8. And I'd actually had a really rough night because the fire alarm went off at 3 a.m. and I woke up at 4 thinking that my train was coming at 5. So it was a long, unfortunate morning, but then when I was home, it was good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, how was your break, Orly?
It was all right. I work for the football team, so I got to travel to Oklahoma State. Rough loss, but it was fun. We got there Friday night, stayed in Oklahoma City. We got to go downtown for dinner in Bricktown. It was really good. We went to Bricktown Brewery, then just kind of hung out, went to the game Saturday, and then as soon as the game ended, hopped on the buses and came back to Lawrence. Then I kind of just rotted for 2 days.
How far is the drive?
Because we were on buses, it took about 6.5 hours. We stopped once for lunch on the way. But it wasn't too bad. We each got our own row, so.
Oh, that is really nice.
Could kind of just hang out. I watched the Beckham documentary, so.
Oh, I have not watched that yet.
It's a good watch.
I've heard it's good.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. All right, we got some more pictures. This first one we have Caden hanging out with his grandma, and it looks like they're having an amazing time.
It looks like Gus went to Oklahoma State. He went with some of his friends from KU, and he's in a frat, Phi Tau, so it looks like they hung out with some of them. I heard they hosted a little pregame before the game, invited them over to their house there.
Next up, we have Federico, who went to the Bama game with some of his friends from KU. It was against Arkansas, and Bama won, and that stadium looks so completely packed, so I'm sure it was great.
Cade just kind of stayed local around Lawrence, went to dinner with some friends, got Mexican food at Salitos, just right off of Mass Street, so he kind of.
Everyone loves Salitos.
Yes, he kind of just had a chill fall break.
Right. Next up, we have Laura, who went to Miami, Florida, which sounds amazing. You know, she came back with a little tan.
I'm jealous.
Right.
I'm definitely jealous.
I did not come back with tan. And then she had this totally awesome sunset on her way to the airport, I think. And that's a great picture.
Maddie went to the Eras Tour, which has been very popular around campus. Yes, the movie has been very popular within the world of the Swifties out there.
Yeah. I've heard some crazy stories about the stuff that goes on in those movie theaters.
Yeah, she went with her brother, and actually the popcorn tins are selling on eBay for $400.
Yeah, I mean, if it's $400 right now, the movie's been out for like a week, I don't even want to know what it's going to be years from now.
So she should definitely keep one and sell one.
She's got 2, so can't complain there. And next up we have Tyler, who is from Long Beach, California. Sounds amazing. He went to the beach with his German roommates from KU, and he said that it was great and that they all get along really well. So, you know, if I was German, I would be really glad to go home with my roommate from California.
Just to be at the beach sounds so nice right now.
Right.
Dulce hung out with her dog Goldie and just kind of had a low-key, chill break.
Yeah.
She definitely used the break.
She's chilling for sure.
Yeah, she definitely used the break to hang out and reset and come back, because I know having Monday and Tuesday off, it was hard to go back to class on Wednesday.
I have to agree with that. I mean, when my train came back in, it didn't get here until midnight, and so, you know, I got home at like 12:30, and then I had to wake up at like 8 for my 9 a.m. the next day, and it was brutal.
I had football that next morning, so it was a rough wake up for me.
Right.
This weekend, we have Big Noon football, Fox's game day show against Oklahoma. Are you going to go to that?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I love going to football games, even though I don't really always know what's going on. Like, the atmosphere is great. So.
And it's cool because last year we had ESPN's game day, So this
Okay.
is just Fox's version of ESPN Game Day, and I heard it's going to be a big hit here in Lawrence.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you'll have fun with it.
I can't go because
no.
I'm working the game, so I have to be at the stadium early, but I'll be able to hear it from inside.
Okay. Well, that's good. Halloween is coming up. Are you doing anything fun for Halloween?
Probably just going to hang out with some friends, go
Yeah.
out, dress up.
Right. Do you have any good costumes? Or still
Well, I am balling on a budget this
Right.
year.
Amen to that.
So I got one like black jumpsuit, and I just got 4 different hats and different accessories.
That's awesome.
And, yeah.
I admire that, honestly. I know my Amazon cart had a lot of crap in it that probably, I could have gone to Goodwill or something. But
yeah. I honestly want to hand out candy, but as a college student, that's probably not likely.
I was thinking, could I get away with, if I wanted to, trick-or-treating?
Go
do
for
people care
it.
about
That'd
that?
be so fun. I want free candy. I mean, I'm a sweets girl.
Yeah,
but
yeah. I know my RA said that, he was going to try to have people come trick-or-treat or something like that. So.
That's fun if you go to, the different floors.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Maybe.
Well, next up, we have an interview with Gillian Flynn, and we'll be back after the break.
Missed the bus again?
Yeah.
You should download My Bus Lawrence. You can see when buses are arriving here, and you can also see where the buses are in Lawrence.
Wow, okay.
Download the My Bus Lawrence app today. Today, I am joined by a very special guest, KU grad, and a very successful author, Gillian Flynn. Gillian, thank you for joining us today. I'm really excited to learn more about your career path at KU and how you became such a successful author.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
As you know, we're highlighting former KU grads who are successful now. So I kind of am curious to know, what did you do at KU that kind of took you down that path of being a journalist and now an author?
I would say, first of all, I would not be an author unless I'd had a journalism background. I mean, I really strongly believe that KU taught me to think critically in the journalism program, to ask good questions, to rewrite when I needed to, kill your babies, and to really, never settle for just what I think is kind of good enough. I love rewriting, and I like thinking about what I've written in a creative way. And I certainly loved the idea that, the muse is not going to come down for you and give you that gift of suddenly being able to write. I think that discipline of learning to write every day, really, really helped me.
Where did that passion and that spark for becoming an author kind of start and originate from?
I was very lucky because my dad was a film professor in Kansas City and my mom taught reading. And so I always had a book in my hand or was going to a movie with my dad. And I grew up in a place where story was incredibly important, whether it was particularly news and letting us understand more about the world and different people, or whether it was fiction and letting your imagination take you places and, making yourself a richer person. So I was always someone who wanted to write for a living, always.
Was there kind of something at KU that helped you get involved in starting as a young journalist and a young author? Were there any clubs or activities that you were involved in within the KUJ school?
I really worked closely with my teachers, and I was in the magazine sequence, and so did everything, in practice of what a layout looks like, what, how to search for typos, a wonderful copy edit class that I took, and really learning how to love the language that way and learning how to present it in an informative and interesting way. That was always what really interested me.
Thinking about how you kind of were a journalist and now you're an author, what kind of maybe key factors kind of helped you become an author because you were a journalist? Is there something that you had those characteristics or things you learned as a journalist that helped you become an author?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, it really is that idea of the discipline of writing every day, and that idea that you have to sit in your seat and write. And sometimes it's a slog and sometimes it's not very fun, but you're not going to learn how to write by reading a lot of books about writing. You got to write to write. So I think a lot of that was that realization that it is, it's like any sort of exercise or strength training. It's, so you're working your brain every single day and engaging with the world and having that interest and that curiosity to ask a wide range, a wide array of people all sorts of different questions, and that helps you become a better fiction writer.
You kind of beside the author journalist, kind of have a favorite memory of your time at KU?
I think it was the thrill of, I loved walking into the School of Journalism every day. I loved being treated as a peer by my teachers, learning from them, but I never felt as if I were a complete student, that they were just handing information to me or spoon feeding them. They really trained me to think hard and to ask worthwhile questions. And, so to me, it was that excitement of realizing that there are so many ways into journalism. There are so many viable and important jobs that go to making a newspaper every day or a magazine every day, and learning hands-on about all of them in a way.
I think that's also, you kind of mentioned it, that's what makes the KU Journalism School is so unique, is because there are so many ways to learn about the realm of journalism and the broad realm it is. And kind of talking about you as a famous author, some of your books are kind of set in that Missouri, Kansas City period, area, location. Do you think KU would ever be mentioned in a book?
Well, I don't know. Do we want it or do we not want it? Depending on how nefarious, I guess, the storyline is. But, it certainly is, full of all different kinds of stories, all different kinds of people, which fascinates me. And certainly my second book, Dark Places, you kind of drive through the KU area in order to get to this kind of farmland that I have theoretically placed in the middle. It's a fictional, so I could put it wherever I want. But, you never know.
Do you ever plan to come back to KU anytime soon by chance?
Yes, I do. I can't wait. I'm hoping next time we're back in Kansas City, my folks still live in Kansas City, so that we'll be able to zip out there and this time bring the kiddos.
Well, maybe we'll see you in the future. Hopefully we do. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was awesome to hear your story and kind of how the KU Journalism School helped you shaped to where you are today.
Thank you very much.
And I'm Caden. This is your Monday Good Evening KU News Brief. The leading news story is still the conflict between Israel and Hamas. The Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza is reporting 436 people have been killed in the past 24 hours, with Israeli strikes continuing. Israel says it's targeting the Hamas infrastructure, including tunnels, with 320 targets hit in a day.
U.S. restrictions imposed upon China's computer chip manufacture and export have drawn a strong response. Market leader NVIDIA says that the new export restrictions will block sales of 2 high-end artificial intelligence chips, including one of its gaming chips. The Biden administration has denied the restrictions are trying to hurt China economically, but to prevent China from strengthening its military.
The Lead Center has announced that 7-time Grammy winner and 2-time Oscar nominee Terrence Blanchard and Oscar winner Kevin Willmott will be on stage to discuss the balancing social justice and the entertainment industry. The event will be free and open to the public on Wednesday, November 1st, and will include a conversation about the social impact of movies and music.
Graduating seniors are reminded that Jostens will be at the 2023 Grad Fair tomorrow and Wednesday in the Union Bookstore. Jostin provides individualized guidance on academic regalia, custom fitting of cap and gowns, and substantial savings on graduation packages.
The KU debate team placed 3rd at the J.W. Patterson debate tournament last month in Kentucky. The sophomore team of John Marshall and Ji-Yoon Park were ranked number 22, but after making it to the Final Four, all expectations were removed. Next up are tournaments at Harvard and then at Wake Forest.
That's it for today's news brief. For sports, here's Tyler.
Thanks, Cade. The football team is using the off week to get the bad taste out of its mouth after a demoralizing 39-32 loss at Oklahoma State 2 weeks ago. After leading by 1 point at halftime and by 5 points at the end of the third quarter, the Jayhawks gave up 12 unanswered points in the fourth. KU is now 5-2 overall and 2-2 in the Big 12 Conference. It's homecoming on Saturday, and the Jayhawks will take on the number 6th ranked Oklahoma Sooners. KU still needs one more win to become bowl eligible, and kickoff is at 11 a.m. on Fox. The soccer team continued its unfortunate streak last weekend. The Jayhawks have not won since August 31st and have lost 6 matches in that time by a score of 1-0. Overall, Kansas is just 3-8-6 overall and 0-7-2 in the Big 12 Conference. The final match of the season is tonight at Rock Chalk Park against K-State. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. And the volleyball team knocked off TCU in 4 sets this weekend to raise their record to 14-4 overall and 5-3 in the Big 12 Conference. Next up is a 2-game series with West Virginia on Thursday and Friday of this week. First serve is at 6:30 p.m. on both nights. In professional sports, the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Miami Dolphins 31-17 on Sunday Night Football. Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts had 3 total touchdowns, and his primary target, A.J. Brown, caught 10 passes for 137 yards, including a 14-yard go-ahead touchdown at the end of the third quarter. Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa threw for 216 yards, including a touchdown and an interception. The Eagles improved to 6-1, while the Dolphins fell to 5-2. In Major League Baseball, the Texas Rangers forced a Game 7 in the ALCS yesterday with a 9-2 win over the Houston Astros. The Astros found themselves down 4-2 in the bottom of the 8th with the bases loaded and 1 out, but Rangers reliever Jose Leclerc entered the game and got 2 outs, including a strikeout with the bases loaded to end the inning. In the top of the 9th, Adolis Garcia cranked a grand slam to left field, which ended all but the Astros' night. On the other side of the bracket, the Philadelphia Phillies currently hold a 3-2 lead over the Arizona Diamondbacks in the NLCS. Game 6 is at about 45 minutes. The ALCS Game 7 will be played at 7 p.m. That's it for sports. After the break, Dulcie will be here with the weather.
Walking alone in a college town can be dangerous, no matter the time of day. Lawrence might seem like a small town, but there is still tons of crime that happens. You never know where and or when people are planning to attack, so it is better to be safe than sorry. Being by yourself is never the answer. That's why people should always walk within a buddy system. Having at least 3 people to walk with can help with getting home safer. Going out in a bigger group is definitely the way to go, so everyone can be assured they are safe. If walking home isn't an option, calling KU Safe Ride is the next best option, or ordering an Uber with your friends. Stay safe and always keep a buddy with you.
Hello, welcome back to KU Weather. Right now our current conditions are slightly cloudy. We do see some clouds in the sky and it is very windy outside. For the whole plains, we are currently all in the 80s. Topeka 80, Lawrence 82, Ottawa 82, and Kansas City is a little bit more cooler with 79 degrees. For our satellite, right now we are seeing some activity down here below and up here as well, and we will be getting some of that contact later on during this week. For our current conditions, it is partly sunny, breezy, and warm. We do have high winds up to 30 miles per hour for today. For tonight's forecast, it's going to be breezy with clear skies and mild temperatures. Our winds are going to go a little bit more down to 15 miles per hour. For our hourly planner, 83, 78, 75, and 73 towards the night. Nothing too crazy. For tomorrow's forecast, we are seeing a thunderstorm rolling in the afternoon, so be on the watch out for that. Our wind is also going to be pretty high from 12 miles to 32 miles per hour. For our extended forecast, Tuesday, 60% chance of rain, Wednesday, chance of rain, Thursday, chance of rain, Friday and Saturday, seeing a little bit of clouds left over, and then Sunday and Monday, chances of rain. So we are going to be seeing a lot of rain throughout this whole week. Make sure you have your umbrella ready to go. And that is all for us for today. See you tomorrow at KU. Evening.